Hello, my doom scribblers. This is take 6 or 7, I don't know, I've lost count, of the power of no and why no should become part of your lexicon and why no is an act of self-care. I'm not talking about a belligerent no, I'm not talking about a blanket no, I'm not talking about an angry no, I'm talking about an absolutely realistic, self-centered, no, I can't do that right now. Because, drumroll please, you matter, your time matters, your priorities matter, what you want to do with your life matters. Doesn't actually matter whether you believe that there is one life or many, doesn't matter if you believe that this is the only go round that you get, period, and there's nothing else, or you have this go round and there's an afterlife with a reward, or you have this go round and then you get another go round, or you get multiple go rounds. Whatever you believe, you are here now, and this is this go around. You never get to do this one again. Doctor Who notwithstanding. I guess that'll change everything. Then we'll have a different talk. So, where is this coming from? This is coming from a bunch of places. And I do not care if the world explodes, the dogs all go ballistic, there's a volcano in my backyard, or I weep for the next 10 minutes. We're just going to keep talking. Where is this, the power of no, coming from? So it's twofold. First part, I signed up to go to Novelists Inc., which is one of those like super scary things for me because I've made the money as a writer. I just haven't stepped out there and put my name out there. But I've been talking with my bestie about why I have this yes and no about visibility. And I can take you down that path. If you want to go down that path, I can explain what that's about. But I am trying to step into integration, for want of a better word, to put myself out there as a writer. It was very scary to sign up for NINC. Not because I can't write, not because my books don't sell, I'm a best-selling writer, but because being seen is so dangerous for me. So, signed up for NINC, and one of the members of the board is a post-apoc writer, and they said, oh, there is a writer's dinner the night before the conference starts. Do you want to come? Of course I want to go. And he said, there are a lot of post-apoc readers. This is writers and readers who come to this dinner. There are a lot of post-apoc readers in Florida. And I thought to myself, of course there are a lot of post-apoc readers in Florida. Fucking, it's Florida! So I was quite enthused, and I haven't been for a while. I've had a really rough few months. We took on these dogs that we should not have taken on. Peter Pan was round-the-clock care, bless him, and Sassafras is a puzzle I am still trying to work out. Ginger is very sick and not getting any better. Things are just in a kind of personal freefall. It's been really rough. And so this was a little burst of energy to think, okay, I'm going to be around post-apoc readers in September, and I have another book due in September of my own, which my boss very kindly pushed out because he's actually very sympathetic to what's been going on in my life. And so I went to the main room, into the Doom Scribblers room, and said, hey, what do you think about launching in September? Wasn't very clear about it, because we do all need to be close to done or can show that we can produce the books on time. It's one of the things that you need to do for your readers, whether or not you're relying on the algorithm to push your books, and to not hit that cliff, so have a new book ready before you hit the cliff, or you have some kind of following that readers will just wait for your books because they know that they're coming. Whatever it is, you need to meet reader expectation. And for our brand, reader expectation is that books will come out roughly once a month. I'm very sorry, Micah, that I fucked that up. So I went to the room and I said, hey, what do you think about September? And some people were like, wow, okay, that's exciting, scary exciting. And some people were like, whoa, what the fuck? And some people were like, really? Again? You are changing things again? What in the world? I told you we're not stopping for anything. We're not. This is Lily Bear. and she wants my attention, so we're not stopping. And some people were angry, and some people were scared. But what I noticed today, only today, what I noticed was that nobody said no. Nobody said, "Oh, that's not realistic based on what I've got on at the moment." And I think that there are a bunch of reasons for that. There are clearly there are cultural reasons. You know, I was raised a Catholic in Britain, well, mostly in Germany, but by Britons, and you've got this tradition of obey your parents, obey authority, saying no, standing up for yourself, having an opinion that is not the majority opinion was a transgression, not just bad behavior, but actually something that was going to send you to hell. Rebelling against your parents was a sin. You were going to hell for eternity. No, we didn't learn no. British people, right? Life is, short, hard, brutal. The weather's not kind, the people aren't kind till you get to know them. But you're really not supposed to have a very wide emotional range in British society. Having a stiff upper lip isn't a joke, it's a way of life. Having a broader emotional palette is considered distasteful. And certainly having a no, putting yourself, I'm using these a lot today, and she thinks it means, I want to pet you, but I don't. But I'm going to anyway because I don't have a no. Lots of ums. I'm just not going to do it again. I'm not. Volcanoes erupting. Don't give a shit. We are culturally trained not to have a no. And if you put gender into the mix, however you identify, there's a very, very good chance that you were either psychologically bullied. Women tend to be more psychologically bullied. Men tend to be more physically punished, as boys and girls. But no is very, very hard for everyone. I would argue that it's a bit harder for women because we are supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be the nicer ones. Estrogen makes you nice. Guess what? When the estrogen starts winding down, you get less nice. It's an actual fact. I can't wait. But what struck me in the room when I went and said, hey, what do you think about September? Is nobody said, oh, no, I can't do that right now. I can do this. I can do this, this, and this. As I said, we had this mix of some excitement all the way to panicking. There was everything in between. Stella, no. Good girl. I was talking to my bestie yesterday because I kind of had a bit of a crack yesterday. And one of the things I was talking about was a couple of people were angry about this other change. And we came to this conclusion, this is a bit of an aside, but it's really interesting, I think, that people who are angry about an infringement on their plans actually have really healthy boundaries. And there's a very, very good chance that if your response was anger rather than anxiety, there's a very good chance that you were well parented. Not everyone, but children who are allowed to complain about something in their lives, feel a big thing, be angry, and have someone attend to them, they grow up thinking that they are allowed to express anger or something close to a no. And my best friend and I were both in different ways unmothered. Her mother had multiple sclerosis, and so Jackie turned into the mother at a very, very young age, and she kept her brother and herself at home by lying to the social. So she and I have this experience of not having anyone tend to our emotional needs. So we talked about that. We talked about how how like fuck off might be a really, really healthy response to, oh, I want you to do something impossible because I, Catherine Pickford, don't have a no and don't have good boundaries and don't know how to take care of myself. So I'm going to bring that to the room. Actually, I would like to take that back out of the room and say, I just realized that I'm doing something that I've done all my life, which is to say yes to everything. And there are books, you can go and look up books that really deal with how you break the pattern of yes and get to know, and how no is healthy and how boundaries are healthy and how you can make choices about you, and it's completely fine. It is completely fine for you to choose your life. I've done so many takes. I don't know if I've already said this. I think I have, but it might have been the last take. Doesn't matter if you believe that this is the only go around that you get and you die and there's nothing, or you believe all the way the other end of the spectrum, there are multiple times you get to come back. Doesn't matter what you believe. This is the only now that you get. This. So decide what it is you want to do. Don't leave the project. Definitely, definitely don't leave the project. I love you. You stuck around. You might have stuck around for reasons like I did, because this old woman is being bullied, and we're up on 11 minutes. I'm going to tell you the next iteration of the story. So we're raising this money for Arada, this woman who has lived a very, very good life and is beloved of her children and poor as a fucking church mouse, and who's being bullied by this non-blood relative who has bribed his way through the courts. So the latest iteration was there was a valuation of the property, and the court's valuation came in at one price, and he had his own people value the property as much higher, because he wants two things. He wants to get as much money as he can, and he wants Irada not to be able to buy that property, not to be able to afford it. That's why he wants it so high. And the reasons for that are long and complicated and just as horrible as you would imagine from somebody who is doing this. And so her lawyer went to the courts and said, this valuation is way out of whack. We need to go back to the court valuation. So everything went back on hold again. Everything's moving very, very slowly. And then this past weekend, somebody knocked on Irada's door and said, you need to leave now. She said, what? He said, you need to leave. I just bought this house. She said, no. So the auction house had auctioned the house on the using the upper valuation. We believe that this was the nephew's doing. We can't prove that, but that there was somebody inside there who is beholden to him, or he is bribed. And so once again, her lawyer had to go back to the courts and say, nobody told her. Nobody informed her. We didn't have a court decision on the valuation. This is an illegal sale. Imagine being 80 and somebody turning up after harassing you for 7 years, going on 8 years now, harassing you out of your home, and actually having a buyer show up on your doorstep. I don't know how she's doing it. She's an absolute miracle. I've never met her, but I hear she's very, very lovely. So my yes is to her. My yes is to that person who I want to help have a place to live. It's also to the craft. And now that we're in it together, the thing that I've got, I don't have a good no, I don't have good business practices. I couldn't sell ice cream to somebody in high summer. But what I can do is I can help you write the best stories that you could possibly write, because I understand story and I understand storytelling, and I can get you to a place where your craft is honed to a sharper point than it was when you walked into the room. So I want to take out my, hey, let's get it done by September, and ask the proper question. And the proper question is, how do we get back on track? Because we're off track. How do we get back on track? What can you realistically commit to? What do you want to do? And how do we plan this so that it's healthy and not toxic? All right, I'll be back. I'm going to be back.